That's pretty jank.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna take the Ripmo AF on my jump and see how it rides. Then I'm gonna grab my Lowside, mostly because somebody asked to see me do something with it in a video, which I haven't really done much yet. And I'm gonna ride my Lowside on the jump and see how that feels. It's kind of sketch weather right now. It might start raining, so we'll see how far I get with this. I was talking a little bit about bike geometry in my previous video, which I actually just did earlier today, and I'll just add a little bit about the Ripmo AF to that. So the Ripmo AF is a 29er. So talked a little bit about the distance of chainstay. So when you have a 29er on this bike, it's pretty compact in there, and because it's full suspension, you don't really have a seat tube that's straight that you can measure with, so you got to draw a line from center of crank to the top, like the seat tube. So you draw a nice line, so you can kind of get an idea how close the tire really is, and it's, you know, pretty stuffed in there. And then the distance from axle to center of crank is going to be longer because it has to accommodate a 29-inch wheel. Then when you get down here, you got to look at bottom bracket height, and the bottom bracket's down just a little bit. I don't know what the BB drop is on this one, but all of that's going to affect how this bike's going to jump. But it is full suspension, so you got the compression and so on. And then because of the forks and because of the way this bike's designed, even though it looks like it's got a low rise handlebar, the front is actually pretty high. These are 30mm rise P&W range bars, and so you put all those things together and it'll really give you the idea of how this bike's going to jump compared to a smaller bike or a dirt jump bike where everything's a lot more compact. And having suspension versus not having suspension adds a whole nother factor to jumping bikes. So let's take this off the jump a few times and see how it rides. I believe this transition should be mellow enough for the 29-inch wheels and the wheelbase of this bike. I guess I'll find out. So that was a little test run. I didn't go my fastest. I wasn't planning on clearing it. I just wanted to see how it felt. One of the things I noticed is I buzzed the inside of my thigh on the back tire, because when I landed I was tucking behind the bike, and I forget that I got 29-inch wheels. So that's always fun. This time we'll give it a little more speed and actually try to clear it. A little bit closer. I think what my issue is now is I'm not preloading the suspension enough. So let's see if I can preload and get a little bit more pop off of it. That definitely made a difference. A little bit more preload, pulling up a little bit more, made it a lot easier to clear. One of the things I do notice is this landing's a little short for a bigger bike, longer wheelbase, so I feel like I'm landing and then coming right to flat, but it doesn't really matter on this bike because I have 160 millimeters of travel up front. So I hardly feel it. But yeah, it definitely has no problem jumping this jump. So that's pretty cool. I need to practice, obviously, and try to get a little more pop and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to see what it felt like and how well it went. Now I'm gonna go grab my low side and we'll compare. So now I have my low side and I'm gonna go off the jump a couple times with it, but I'm gonna put out a word of caution to anyone out there who has multiple bikes or hops on a friend's bike or whatever. I just got done riding my Ripmo AF and I'm gonna switch over to this bike, and I haven't ridden it yet. So what I always do is, before I just go down the street and just haul ass towards the jump, I want to familiarize myself with this bike by doing a couple of bunny hops, things like that. And then my first jump off this, I'm going to go slower and just land on the top and get a feel for it. And that's just a safety thing, because if I just haul ass at it and try to launch it, I'm probably going to be in the wrong position and treat the bike incorrectly because I'm used to riding a different bike, if that makes any sense. I've seen a lot of riders actually crash and get hurt by switching bikes. I have a friend who had a BMX bike, 20-inch bike, then he was riding his fat bike a whole bunch, and he went back to his BMX bike, which is a pretty drastic change. And then he tried going off a jump with his BMX bike without like really warming up and getting used to it, and crashed really hard, ended up really hurting himself bad. So that's just a word of caution to anybody who switches bikes, or you go get on a rental or try somebody else's bike out. Familiarize yourself with the bike. Another thing to watch out for is people that switch their brakes to moto. Some people call it European style or UK style and English style or American style, whatever it is. Most bikes, the rear brake is on the right, front brake is on the left. But some people do switch them because they ride motorcycles or they're from different part of the world, whatever the reason may be. So you want to make sure you also know that if you ride a bike you're not familiar with. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's take this bike on the ramp and see how it works. Okay, first is going to be the slower warm-up run, landing on the top and getting a feel for the bike. So the first thing that I noticed is that since this bike is a single speed and I have it set up for single track, the gearing is much lower, so it's very spinny to get up enough speed. So that's a difference right there. But it felt all right. I'll do a couple more and see if I can clear it. Forget what I said about the gearing, because I had no problem getting up enough speed to clear that. That bike just launched. Couple of things to note. I haven't cut the bars. I keep thinking I want to cut the bars because they're 820 millimeters wide. That's 32 and a little bit more inches. These bars are wide. I do hold all the way in, so when I'm gripping the bar, I'm gripping inside. I'm not way out here. I'm kind of inside, so I'm probably trying to make them feel more like 800 millimeter wide bars, but they're 82 millimeter rise, I believe. I just looked it up and I'm trying to remember what I just looked up. So I have a feeling these bars are actually what makes this bike what it is. It's like, because they're so tall and so big in the front end, you can just pull up and launch it. It definitely shifts your weight back where it needs to be for doing such a thing. So that was pretty sweet. So I'll do a couple more jumps from different angles on the low side, but I just got to make sure I don't overshoot the jump, I might have to even pull the launch even further away after that, because I came down right at the bottom of the landing. Let's get a couple more shots and then end this video. Yeah, I'm really pleasantly surprised. The Surly Lowside just continues to impress me. I didn't know it would just ride so good. So props to Surly for doing their homework, especially on the geometry of it. I mean, this is a 27.5 plus bike, and I can jump it on this jump box. That's pretty amazing. I'm really glad that I added the dropper post, because it would really suck to be jumping with the seat way up like that. So if you do plan to get a Lowside, or you have one, it is set up for a dropper post. It has the hole right there, so you can feed it through, and then you can do a janky zip tie job like me. But yeah, I really like this bike. I hate to admit it, but I kind of like jumping this on it more than I like my DJ bike. So we'll see. When I go to Cottage Grove, which is a bike park with a lot of jumps and stuff, I'm gonna have to bring both and see which one I like more. Anyway, that concludes this video. I hope, I don't remember who commented and wanted to see some more Lowside footage, but there you have it. I did this for you. Thanks for watching. Please like my channel and subscribe. Have a good day. Stay safe.